Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Before we begin, a massive thank you goes out to Ryan Kirkwood for snapping these absolutely glorious high-res pics and this awesome video as well. Show Ryan some love in the comments below, because without him, this series literally wouldn't be possible. If you are looking to pre-order Black Widow, she is available from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is of course down in the description below, and they do have 12-month installment plans if you are a fan of paying off your figures over time. Here we have her. I mentioned on a recent live stream that I would love to see a final suit version of Black Widow from the film of the same name, Black Widow. I loved this movie, so much so that I watched it twice in the space of 2 days. I went to the cinema and then I watched it again on Disney+. I loved the story, I loved the action, and of course the cast of characters. The family element of this film, we had Red Guardian, we had Milena, Yelena, and of course Natasha. I loved that. That was the core, the centerpiece of the film, the heart and soul, if you will, and they nailed it. I'm just hoping that Hot Toys decide to give us the rest of the family as well. Fingers crossed. We do have a figure preview video of Red Guardian coming up very soon. We have 2 more Hot Toys. Please give us the rest. But yeah, the final battle suit, if you will, it looks awesome. This is the one that a lot of people were waiting for. Is it the definitive Black Widow? Well, we will hopefully have a verdict at the end of this video. But for now, just know that it looks absolutely awesome. They've also made a ton of improvements here, a lot of changes and upgrades that I have moaned about extensively with the previous Black Widow figures simply aren't an issue here, which shows that they are always iterating and improving. Definitely a good thing. Now, in terms of accessories, she does come with 3 pistols, 2 without sights and 1 with, an array of hands, including a gesturing hand, so you can get her in her dynamic pose. Ugh, such a poser. And the cool thing is, they have made some improvements to be able to actually get her in that pose. It was a big part of the film, and yes, you can do it. If you do get the special edition version, you also get a Taskmaster shield with a little bit of weathering on the surface there. I thought it was a little bit more metallic in the film, but I could just be misremembering. She also comes with the iconic Black Widow weapons, the Batons of Doom, if you will. I'm pretty sure you get 2 different versions, the extended out version with the hooks, and also just the normal ones. I wouldn't be surprised if they can combine, because in this film in particular, they did a ton of stuff. They combined, they extended, they went small and plugged into her backpack, so I'm pretty sure we get a ton of different options when it comes to the batons here, which also I appreciate, because that means they are paying attention and giving us scene-specific accessories. As for those little clip pieces, once again I'm not exactly sure what they are. I'm fairly certain though that they plug into the tops of the batons and create these little spiked pieces on the top there, but I could be completely wrong. If you do know what they are, do let me know down below though, because I'd love to find out. So yes, the usual array of weapons here. She always comes with the batons and some pistols, so nothing all that exciting when it comes to the accessories. But I don't think that's the main draw for the figure herself. I mean, it's cool that you do get the Taskmaster shield here, but it's by no means an essential addition, so if you do just want the standard version, you're not really missing out all that much. As for the display base, usual hexagonal style, Black Widow top and on the front there with that classic hourglass Widow logo. I love the red, by the way. It was a big theme of the movie, and they kind of carried it over to the display base here. I love that sort of stylized old school television look with the fuzzy lines all over the place. It's a really neat effect. I know it's a simple thing to do on a display base, but I really like what they've done here. One amazing improvement is the split cut boot design. Oh my goodness, when I saw this, I was so very happy. Hot Toys finally are giving us split cut boot design on Black Widow figures. I mean, there's only been like 6, and finally they've decided to do it here. It's a huge upgrade. That means you can get her in a ton more poses. I can't tell you the amount of times I've tried to pose my Black Widow figures and they simply will not stand, because they usually come with the super rigid, fixed, solid rubberized boots. But not this time. Oh no, we've got full ankle articulation, and you'd barely be able to tell. It's a very, very seamless design to the boot cuff coming over the shoe itself. It looks like one seamless piece if you do have her standing straight up and down, but then when you have her in dynamic poses, she can pull off her iconic Black Widow pose, and that makes me personally very, very happy. Another huge upgrade here is the stretch fabric on the high traffic joints. So I'm talking about the legs, I'm talking about the crotch area, I'm talking about underneath the shoulders, and also in the elbows, which you'll see when we pan up. But it's stretch fabric for the most part with the other pieces overlaid on top. It's like a screen printed kind of technology here. So that means we are getting optimal articulation, and if you are careful with where you put the bends in the joints, you shouldn't have to worry about too much in the way of creasing over time. That is always a good thing. When they make these stylistic choices that also prolong the figure's lifespan, that's a huge plus for me. I hope that going forward they keep this in the back of their mind. A lot of people do complain though that Hot Toys just use these synthetic vinyl materials for the sake of it. Totally not the case. Sometimes when it comes to the over-texturized suits that the MCU tends to have, you do have to go with that material, but when it comes to a suit like this, and you can do a hybrid really nicely and it still be accurate to the film, I think they should always do that, and I'm pretty sure they have, for the most part, done it. She also has a little bit of gold here and there on the suit, plus that beautiful fiery orange red for that belt buckle there, with the iconic Black Widow logo. Is this the most comic accurate / comic inspired suit that we've seen her wearing in the MCU? Heck yeah it is, and it's fantastic. It does have a lot of panel and tech detail. She also has this harness up the top and some shoulder pads. But if you wanted to, technically you could remove all those bits and pieces. And yes, they have once again done a fixed zipper on her suit. Thank goodness. I don't know why sometimes people decide to pull that zipper all the way down. It didn't look like that in the film. Let's be real. It looks better when it's at the appropriate height, accurate to the film itself. That's why we collect Hot Toys, to be accurate to the film. So yes, I am glad that they have made that choice once again. You can also see more stretch fabric on the inside of the arm there, on the elbow joint and underneath in the armpit, all stretch fabric, another huge plus. She also has a little bit more gold on her Widow Bite braces there, which those subtle pops of gold here and there really do make the suit. A few little pops of color goes a long way. That's what I think was missing from the Endgame suit. I still love that figure, it's fantastic. But in this case, adding those little pops of gold here and there have elevated this figure to be, in my honest opinion, the best Black Widow figure to date. And I am speaking strictly on the costume design alone. The folks over at Marvel have outdone themselves with the design here. More on that though in just a second. You can see the whips with the hooks extended. You did see those used in the film. I'm not sure if they are on wires so you can bend them around. I was fairly sure that they did do that for the snowsuit, so if it does turn out to be the case, then I wouldn't be surprised if you do get that once again with this Black Widow. So basically, this is a hybrid between what came with the white suit, but also just giving us the final battle suit. You can also see the sculpted hair out the back with the ponytails. That means it shouldn't really get in the way of articulation because it's tied to the back and there's nothing that'll hinder the head from moving, unlike with the white suit, which does have the hair coming around the front, so it's a little bit more restricted. Now, let's talk about the head sculpt, because it is the pièce de résistance here. It's awesome. I love the way this looks. I can see Scarlett Johansson in that likeness, Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, absolutely. I love the intensity of the expression, slightly furrowed brow there. It looks like she's ready to kick some butt. Fiery red hair and also punchy, vibrant red lipstick. She looks awesome. I am super happy with this sculpt. Absolutely unequivocally the best, most accurate Black Widow head sculpt to date. I am curious though, what do you all think of this head sculpt? Do you like it? Do you not? Do you prefer the Endgame one, which is also an amazing sculpt and, to date, is the best? But now that we've seen the white suit and this one, I think these newer Black Widow figures take the cake. Which is always the way it's going to be. When you get a newer version of something that a company has already done previously, they like to see what they did well previously and iterate and give us a new upgraded version. So it makes total sense that this one will be the pinnacle, the final, the ultimate version of Black Widow. And it's fitting, because this is the last time we're going to see her in the MCU. Well, unless something crazy happens and she comes back to life. But I'm all for this costume design, and in figure format, it just looks fantastic. Articulation? Check. Sculpted hair? Check. Really good likeness? Absolutely. And ton of accessories, or more than enough, in my opinion? Yeah, also check. Plus, split-cut boot design and stretch fabric in the joints. This figure has pretty much got all of the improvements. It checks all of my boxes. I don't think I have anything to complain about when it comes to stuff that I would have liked them to do with this figure. I can't even think of any additional accessories that I'd want her to come with. I'm pretty happy with the array of bits and pieces she comes with, plus the figure as an overall package. It is, as I said a couple of times, in my opinion, the ultimate Black Widow figure. Now, if you do want to pre-order her, link is down in the description below to head over to toyswonderland.com. Also, while you're down there, check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.